You took me to 3 different trainers. 3. And every single one of them told you the same thing. Oh, we can work with that prey drive, no problem. And every single one of them was lying. Not on purpose, maybe, but lying all the same. I'm not chasing that bird because I'm badly trained. I'm chasing that bird because every cell in my body has been screaming, "Go get that," for about 400 years. You think a clicker and some freeze-dried liver is going to undo 4 centuries of selective breeding? Come on, you're smarter than that. I think. I hope. And the thing that really gets me, the part that actually drives me nuts, is when you act surprised. Every single time. The squirrel bolts, I bolt, you drop the leash, and then you're standing there going, why does he keep doing this? Because I'm a Brittany. That's literally the answer. That's the whole answer. I don't decide to chase. My legs are moving before my brain even clocks what's happening. It's not a choice. It's closer to a sneeze. You ever tried to stop a sneeze halfway through? Yeah. That's what leave it feels like when a pheasant flushes 6 feet from my nose. And look, I get it. You live in a suburb, there's no hunting happening. You got me because I'm cute and medium-sized, and the breeder said I'd be great with kids. Which, fine, I am great with kids. But nobody mentioned that you'd also be getting a dog whose brain is basically a radar dish bolted onto a missile. That part got left out of the conversation, didn't it? You know what you did yesterday? You took me on a 20-minute walk around the block. Same route, same sidewalk, same fire hydrant, same mailbox, same dead patch of grass outside number 47. And then you came home and said, he should be tired now. I wasn't tired. I wasn't even, warmed up. My body moved, sure. My brain didn't go anywhere. My brain was still sitting in the kitchen, vibrating at a frequency you can't hear. That's the thing nobody tells you about Brittany's. It's not just the physical energy, and yeah, I've got plenty of that. It's that my head never stops running. Never. I'm lying on the couch right now, and I'm tracking the fly in the corner. I'm cataloging every sound from outside. I'm half planning what I'd do if that back door opened. And I'm also thinking about the sock you left on the floor, and whether it's worth the gamble. All of that, right now, while I look relaxed. You bought me a puzzle feeder once. I finished it in about 45 seconds, and then knocked it under the couch. You were so proud of that purchase, too. Watched the whole unboxing video. Here's what I actually need, and I know you're not gonna love hearing this. I need a job, a real one. Something where my brain has to solve problems, and my nose has to work, and my body has to cover ground that isn't a loop around a cul-de-sac. Agility, tracking, fieldwork, something, anything that isn't another lap past number 47. Because when you don't give me something to think about, I find something to think about, and that's when your couch cushions start paying the price. You grabbed your keys. That's it. You picked up your keys off the counter and my chest caved in. I know how that sounds. I know you think I'm being dramatic, but you don't understand what happens in my head the second I clock the leaving pattern. Shoes on, pockets padded, that little look at the door. My brain doesn't go, oh, he'll be back in 20 minutes. My brain goes, gone. Just gone. And then I'm standing in the hallway and the house is too quiet and I can still smell you everywhere, but you're not here. And I don't know what to do with that. You call it separation anxiety, like it's a diagnosis, like it's a problem I have. But I was literally bred to work 10 inches from a hunter's leg for 8 hours straight. Generations of dogs before me were selected, hand-picked, because they wouldn't leave a human side. And now you're annoyed that I won't leave your side? You built this. Your species did this on purpose, and then gave it a clinical name when it became inconvenient. I chewed the baseboard last Tuesday. Yeah, I know. Okay, fine. That one's on me. But you were gone for 6 hours, and I could hear the neighbor's TV through the wall, and the fridge was making that sound again. And I needed something to do with my mouth. That's not destruction. That's coping. And the worst part? You come home, and you're upset about the baseboard. Not about me, the baseboard. You walk right past me, the dog who's been losing his mind for 6 hours to inspect drywall damage. Cool. Great. Really feeling the bond here. I did 3 laps around the living room this morning before you even opened your eyes. 3 full laps. Coffee table, couch, dining chair, back to the coffee table. You know what that is? That's a field dog with nowhere to go. My legs were built for cover. Tall grass, bramble, uneven ground, mud, the kind of terrain where you're resetting your footing every 2 seconds and your nose is pulling you in 4 directions at once. I was made for that. I was made to quarter a field at a dead sprint, lock on point, hold, wait, then do it again for hours. And instead, I get a hallway, maybe a balcony if you're feeling generous. That 30-minute walk you're so proud of, the one around the block where I stop at every fire hydrant, that's not exercise. That's a commute. You wouldn't call sitting in traffic a workout. Don't call that a workout for me. And look, I get it. Not everyone has acreage. Not everyone lives near open land. I'm not stupid. I understand real estate. But you knew what I was when you picked me. Or you should have. Somebody somewhere told you Brittany's are medium energy or adaptable, and you just believed them without checking? That's on you. That's lazy research. I'm a pointing dog who lives in 900 square feet, and you're confused about why I'm bouncing off the walls. The zoomies aren't cute. They're not funny. They're me burning fuel that has nowhere to go. Every lap around that couch is a field I should be running. I want you to understand that. Every single lap. You raised your voice on the phone last Thursday. Not at me, not even in the same room as me. You were arguing with your bank or your landlord or whoever, and I was in the kitchen and my whole body went tight. Tail dropped, ears flat. I walked myself to the corner behind the recycling bin and just sat there. You didn't even notice. That's the thing nobody tells you about Brittany's. We hear everything. And I don't mean hear like, yeah, dogs have good ears, whatever. I mean, I absorb it. The tone, the tension, the shift in your breathing when you're frustrated. I can feel the room change before you've said a word. And I can't turn it off. There's no dial. There's no, oh, that's not about me. I'll just relax. My nervous system doesn't have that feature. You slammed a cabinet door 2 weeks ago. Just because it's stuck and you were in a hurry. Took you half a second to forget about it. Took me 40 minutes to stop panting. And then, this is the part that really gets me. When I do react, when I flinch or hide or go belly up for no reason you can see, you think I'm broken. You Google, why is my dog so anxious? And read articles about supplements and thunder shirts. And you never once think, maybe the house is just loud. Maybe you're loud. Maybe the energy you're putting into this apartment every single day is the thing I'm responding to. I'm not anxious. I'm accurate. I'm reading the room exactly right. You just don't like what that says about the room. You found the couch cushion. Yeah, I saw your face. That little inhale through the nose, the jaw thing you do when you're trying not to yell. And I get it. That cushion was new. But here's what you're not understanding, and I need you to really hear this. I didn't chew that cushion because I'm bad. I chewed it because my brain was eating itself alive, and the cushion was there. You left at 8. You came back at, 4, 5? That's 8, 9 hours of nothing. No smells, no birds, no job. Just me, the same 4 walls, and a brain that was literally built to cover miles of field every single day. You know what happens when you take a motor that's supposed to run at 6,000 RPM and just leave it idling in a garage? Something breaks. That something was your cushion. And the shoes last week, and the door frame. Okay, fine. The door frame was a bit much. I'll give you that. But you keep treating this like a discipline problem. Like if you just found the right tone of voice, or the right crate, or the right bitter spray, I'd stop. I won't stop. You can't punish boredom out of a Brittany. That's not how any of this works. I'm not being defiant. I'm not acting out. I'm losing my mind in the most literal way a dog can lose its mind. My body's got nowhere to go, and my nose has nothing to track, and my legs haven't stretched past the backyard in 3 days, and you're surprised I found a project? The cushion was my project. You should be thanking me for not picking the drywall again. You raised your voice last Tuesday over the thing with the garbage can. And I know, you think I shook it off. Came back 20 minutes later, tail going, leaned against your leg like nothing happened. You probably figured, okay, he's fine. Message received. We're good. We're not good. I remember that. I remember the pitch of it. I remember exactly where you are standing and what your hands did and what your hands did, and I filed the whole thing under not safe in a part of my brain I can't turn off. That's what you don't get about correcting a Brittany. You think you're teaching me something. You're not. You're just breaking a wire somewhere that I needed. I'm soft. I know that sounds weird coming from a dog who'll charge through a briar patch after a bird without blinking, but it's true. My body's tough. My feelings are not. And I don't mean that in some cute, sad puppy way. I mean it structurally. The same wiring that makes me want to work with you, read you, check in with you every 6 seconds in the field, that wiring runs on trust. You yank on it hard enough, it doesn't snap back. It just goes slack. And then you've got a different dog. A dog that hesitates. A dog that won't come when you call. Not because he's stubborn, because he's doing math. Is it safe to go over there? What's the voice gonna be this time? That's not a trained dog. That's a nervous dog. There's a big difference. A firm no works fine. I'm not saying wrap me in bubble wrap. Just know what you're working with. I was bred to cooperate. You don't need a hammer. You never did. I chased the neighbor's cat again. I know, I saw you apologize. I saw the hand gestures, the whole he's usually so good I don't know what got into him performance. And I'm standing there thinking, what got into me? What got into me? That's been in me since before I was born. That's the whole point of me. You picked a Brittany. You, a person who lives on a 1/4-acre lot in a subdivision, picked a dog that was purpose-built over hundreds of years to find, point, and flush living things out of bushes. And now you're confused that I can't walk past a squirrel without losing my entire personality? Come on. Here's what's actually happening when I lock onto something. My nose catches it first. Then every single thought I have just evacuates. Gone. Your voice, the leash, my name, the concept of traffic, just gone. It's not that I'm choosing to ignore you. There's no choosing happening. The prey drive kicks in, and I'm basically a guided missile with floppy ears. I don't have an override switch. You have to be the override switch. And you can be. That's the thing. I'm not unmanageable. But you've gotta give me a job that scratches the same itch, or this keeps happening. Every walk turns into me scanning every bush, every rustle, every movement in my peripheral, and you getting frustrated that I won't just stroll. I don't stroll. I've never strolled. The concept of strolling is foreign to me on a genetic level. Train the recall, work the long line, give me birds to find, even fake ones, but stop acting surprised when the software does what it was programmed to do. You got the puppy packet, right? The one with the health clearances and the little folder about coat care and feeding schedules. Real professional, real thorough. And nowhere, not one line, did anyone mention the word epilepsy. Yeah, Brittany's and seizures. It's a thing. A real, documented, not rare thing. And you found out about it the same way most Brittany owners do. On your kitchen floor at 2 a.m, watching me convulse and having absolutely no idea what was happening. Fun night for both of us. Hip dysplasia is in there too. So is hypothyroidism. Ear infections. I mean, look at these ears. You really thought these weren't going to trap every piece of moisture and bacteria within a mile? Come on. And the skin stuff. The allergies. The hotspots that show up out of nowhere and turn into a whole production. Medicated shampoo, cone of shame, 3 vet visits, $400 later, and you still don't know what triggered it. But here's what gets me. The breeder knew, or should have known. These aren't mystery conditions. They're in the breed profile. They're in the OFA data. They're in every Brittany health survey that's been done in the last 20 years. And yet, somehow, the conversation was all about how athletic we are, how great in the field, what a wonderful family dog. Which, fine, sure. But nobody thought to mention that my breed has one of the higher epilepsy rates in sporting dogs. I'm not saying don't get a Brittany. I'm saying maybe ask the questions the breeder's hoping you won't. Because that puppy packet, it left out some chapters. You left for 10 minutes, 10, to get the mail and talk to the neighbor. And when you came back, I'd pulled the blinds off the window. That wasn't destruction, that was panic. Actual, full-body, can't think straight panic. And the fact that you came home and went, "What is wrong with you?" Honestly, that made it worse. Because now I'm panicking and I think you're mad at me. Great combo. Brittany's are... Look, I don't know how to say this without sounding like a therapist, but we're sensitive. Like unreasonably sensitive. You raise your voice on a phone call, not even at me, and I'm in the other room shaking. You slam a cabinet, and I won't come into the kitchen for an hour. Thunderstorms? I've tried to get inside the bathroom wall during thunderstorms. Literally inside the wall. And it's not something I can just get over. You tried the calming treats. You tried the anxiety vest. You tried leaving the TV on, which, okay, that one actually helps a little, but only if it's not the news. The news makes it worse. I don't know why. The tone, maybe? The thing nobody told you is that this breed bonds so hard to one person that being separated from that person feels like an emergency every time. It doesn't fade. It doesn't get better just because it happened yesterday, too. My brain doesn't work that way. Every single time you walk out that door, some part of me is convinced you're not coming back. And you can't train that out of me. You can manage it, you can make it smaller, but you can't fix it. That would have been good information to have, I think, before the blinds. You budgeted for a dog. I know you did. Food, shots, maybe a training class or two. Responsible, sensible. And then year 1 happened, and you blew past that number by what, March? The allergy testing alone. The specialist visits because your regular vet couldn't figure out why I kept scratching my face raw. The eardrops? Do you know how much those eardrops cost? For liquid in a tiny bottle? I don't have thumbs, and even I think that's a ripoff. Then the anxiety meds, the behavioral consult, the second behavioral consult, because the first one basically said exercise more, and you were already running me 5 miles a day. The dog walker for the days you can't get home, because you learned the hard way what happens when I'm alone too long. That's not a luxury, that's damage control. And I haven't even touched the emotional part. You're tired, I can tell. You come home and you love me, I know you do, but there's this wait. You're scanning the house before you even put your keys down, checking what I got into, checking if I ate, checking the corners of the crate for blood. Because that one time I scraped my gums trying to chew through the bars and it looked like a crime scene. That does something to a person, living in that kind of constant low-grade vigilance. And nobody warned you. Nobody said, hey, this breed might cost you $3-4 grand a year in maintenance, and also a significant portion of your emotional bandwidth. They said I was sweet and eager to please. Both of those things are true, by the way, but they're not the whole story, not even close. You read that on a website, didn't you? Great family dog, gentle with kids, perfect for active households. And you just ran with it. Didn't ask a single follow-up question. Didn't wonder what active meant in that sentence. Just saw the word gentle and thought, yeah, that's the one, honey. I had the crate ready. Here's what they left out. Gentle, sure. I'm not gonna bite your toddler. But gentle doesn't mean calm. Gentle doesn't mean I'm going to sit quietly while your 3-year-old shoves crackers in my ear. I have, and I cannot stress this enough, a motor running inside me at all times. Like all times. There is no off switch. There's barely a dimmer. You wanted a golden retriever. I can tell. You wanted the dog that flops on the couch and lets the kids climb on it and just exists peacefully in the background of your family photo. That's not me. That was never going to be me. I'm the dog that knocked your kid over on the way to a bird that wasn't even there. I'm the dog that ate through the baby gate because I heard a squirrel on the deck. I love your kids, I do, but I love them at 40 miles an hour. And that's a problem for a 2-year-old. And the thing nobody tells you? Family dog isn't a personality type. It's a marketing phrase. Breeders use it because it moves puppies. It means won't actively maul your children, which, okay, low bar, guys, really low bar. You didn't get a family dog. You got a field dog who lives in a family. There's a difference, a big one, and you're about 3 chewed-up couch cushions away from figuring that out. You took me on a jog this morning, 30 minutes, came back, poured yourself water, sat down on the couch like you'd conquered something, looked at me like, there, done. That should hold you. That did not hold me. 30 minutes? I want to be nice about this, I really do, but 30 minutes is a warm-up. That's me loosening my shoulders. That's me getting to the point where my brain starts to come online. You were sweating and checking your heart rate, and I was just getting started, man. People hear high energy, and they think it means like an hour at the park, maybe a long hike on the weekend. Toss a ball around. And yeah, that stuff's fine. It's a start. But what they don't understand is that my energy isn't a tank that empties. It's more like, God, what's the word? A generator. It just keeps producing. I wake up at a 7. A slow day is a 7. A tired day after a 2-hour trail run is maybe a 5. And that 5 is still more energy than your bulldog has on his best day ever. And it's not just the legs. That's the part you keep missing. You can run me until my pads are sore, and if my brain didn't get a workout, I'm still gonna find something to destroy. I need to think. I need to search for stuff, figure stuff out, follow a scent trail that actually goes somewhere. Physical exercise without mental work is it's like giving someone a glass of water when they asked for dinner. Sure, thanks, but I'm still hungry. You're not lazy, I know that. But you might be in over your head, and that's okay to admit. That thing I did at the park last Tuesday, where I lost my mind at the German Shepherd across the field and you had to drag me away while apologizing to literally everyone within earshot? Yeah, we need to talk about that. Because you keep calling it aggressive. You told your friend on the phone I was being aggressive. And every time you say that, I want to crawl under the deck and stay there. Because that's not what happened. Not even close. I was overwhelmed. That's it. Too much dog, too close, too fast, and my brain just, I don't know, short-circuited. I went from 0 to 11 because I didn't have a middle gear for that situation. And you know why I don't have a middle gear? Because I'm sensitive. Stupidly, inconveniently, embarrassingly sensitive. Every sound, every movement, every shift in energy, I'm reading all of it, all the time. And sometimes the signal gets too loud and I just react. You got a Brittany because you heard we were friendly, and we are. I like people. I like dogs, mostly. But friendly and reactive aren't opposites. They live in the same house. I can be thrilled to meet a dog and still flip out because it approached wrong or too fast, or because the energy was off in a way I can't explain to you because, I don't have words. Well, didn't used to. The worst part? You get embarrassed, and I feel that. I feel it coming off you like heat, and it makes the next time worse. Because now I'm overwhelmed, and I know you're upset, and I'm trying to manage both at once with a brain the size of a tangerine. I'm not aggressive. I'm overstimulated. And those are really, really different things. You picked me because I looked good in a photo. Don't even try to deny it. You saw the freckles, the floppy ears, the whole outdoor adventure companion thing on some breeder's website, and you thought, yeah, that's my dog. That's the one. And then I showed up. I showed up with more energy than your entire household combined. I showed up needing to run, not walk, not trot, run, for an hour minimum before I'd even consider sitting still. You weren't ready for that. Nobody told you, or maybe they did, and you figured, I don't know, how bad could it be? Pretty bad, apparently. Because 6 months in, you're Googling Brittany rehoming at 2 a.m. I've seen the screen. I can't read, but I know that look on your face. Here's what happened. You thought high energy meant like a dog that plays fetch for 20 minutes and then naps. That's a golden retriever, friend. High energy in a Brittany means I will destroy your couch, your shoes, your sanity, and that one throw pillow you actually liked. Not because I'm bad, but because you left me alone with nothing to do for 9 hours and my brain started eating itself. And the thing that kills me, the thing that actually gets under my skin, you blame me for it. He's too much. She's untrainable. This breed is crazy. No, you just didn't do the homework. You wanted a medium-sized dog with a pretty coat, and you got a full-time job instead. Most people quit because they bought the wrong picture. Not the wrong dog, the wrong picture of what this was going to be. Nobody talks about the money. Or okay, they talk about the purchase price. They'll brag about that. Got her from a great breeder, $2,000. Cool, congrats. That's the cheapest part of me you'll ever pay for. You know what costs money? The trainer you're gonna need. Because I don't recall like a lab. I recall when I feel like it. and feeling like it requires about 6 months of structured work with someone who actually understands pointing breeds. That's $60-70 a session, weekly. Do the math. Then there's the vet bills. I'm not a sickly breed, I'll give us that. But hip dysplasia screenings, ear infections from all the field work, or from the swimming you let me do in that gross pond because you read online that Brittany's love water. Yeah, I do love water. I also love not having a fungal ear infection for 3 weeks straight, but here we are. And the gear. Oh, the gear. The long leads, the GPS collar, because I will bolt on a scent and you will not catch me. You physically cannot catch me. I need you to understand that. The puzzle toys, the flirt poles, the crate that's big enough, the second crate because I chewed through the first one during week 2. You budgeted for kibble and a bed, maybe a cute bandana. You did not budget for a dog whose brain and body both need daily investment or the whole system falls apart. I'm not high maintenance the way people mean it. I'm not fussy. I'm just expensive to keep sane. There's a difference, and your wallet's gonna learn it either way. You told people I was a quiet breed. You actually said that, out loud, to your neighbor, while I was standing right there, losing my mind because a jogger went past the window. I heard you. I have ears, Karen. Very good ones, actually. Look, I get where you got that idea. Brittany's don't bark like a beagle. We're not out here doing the husky opera thing at 3 a.m. So people hear quiet and they think, oh, easy, chill dog, apartment friendly maybe. And then they bring one of us home and yeah, surprise. I'm not quiet. I'm just not loud in the way you expected. There's a difference. I whine, I whimper. I do this thing where I kind of groan, like a 14-year-old who just got told to clean their room. That sound I make when you're eating and I'm not, that's not silence. That's psychological warfare. And when I do bark, when something actually trips the wire, it's not casual, it's urgent. It's the kind of bark that makes you drop whatever you're holding because your brain registers it as a genuine alarm, which it is. There was a squirrel on the fence. This is serious. The quiet thing also falls apart the second I'm bored. You leave me alone for 4 hours with nothing to do, and I will narrate my entire emotional breakdown out loud. Whining, pacing, talking to the door, talking to the wall, knocking things off the counter just to hear them hit the floor. That's not quiet. That's a hostage situation with sound effects. I'm expressive, that's the word. Not quiet, not loud, just constantly communicating, whether you're listening or not. "17 things. I just gave you 17 things that nobody told you before you brought me home. And honestly, I could have kept going. I was being restrained for once. You didn't know about the prey drive. You didn't know about the anxiety, the real kind, the kind where I can't breathe right when you leave the house, and I don't know if you're coming back. You didn't know that my brain runs at a speed your brain can't even picture, and that it doesn't have a pause button. You didn't know I'd cost you this much money, this much sleep, this much furniture. You didn't know that yelling at me would break something inside me that doesn't heal the same way it does in other dogs. You didn't know I'd react to a stranger on the sidewalk like the world was ending. You didn't know any of it, and that's not entirely your fault. I'll give you that. The breeders didn't warn you. The website said friendly, eager to please, great family dog, and left out the part where I paced the hallway at 2 a.m. because a raccoon walked through the yard 40 minutes ago, and I'm still processing it. The Instagram posts showed a pretty dog in a field, and didn't mention that the field is where I need to be for about 3 hours a day, or I'll dismantle your baseboards out of sheer desperation. You got sold a version of me that doesn't exist. The easy version, the quiet version, the one that fits neatly into a suburban routine without any of the everything I just told you about. But here's where I need you to actually hear me. I'm not broken. None of this means I'm broken. The sensitivity, the energy, the Velcro thing, the hunting instinct that fires up when a leaf blows weird, that's not a defect. That's me. That's the whole dog. You don't get the loyalty without the clinginess. You don't get the intelligence without the destruction when I'm bored. It's a package deal, and you don't get to return the parts you didn't budget for. So, now you know. All of it. The parts that are hard, and the parts that are expensive, and the parts that make you wonder what you got yourself into. The question isn't whether I'm worth it. I already know I am. The question is whether you're gonna step up, because I've been stepping up every single day. Your turn.